Hi, this is Steph from everythingvintagesteph.com. You're just not going to see my face this time, but that's okay. I don't have my camera people with me or my helpers at this time, but I just really wanted to get another video started because I got some new subscribers and I don't want to disappoint them with all my old videos. The books are very popular, so I'm going to go over those again. I'm just going to show a bunch of books that I have in my basement. They're just already listed on eBay. And I just want to show you the different kinds that I have and what you might want to look for if you're out sourcing for vintage books. Or maybe you already have some in your collection. I'll start over here. I have them piled up at different places because they're all ready to go on eBay, and I have them rubber banded together if I'm selling them in lots. And I do sell a lot of these vintage books in lots. There you see the Hardy Boys. And above them, well, actually in the back, I bundled together just a couple of horse stories. I didn't want to sell them separate because it'll be better to put those together. And those are good because they're popular authors. And the one in the middle that you see there, Black Beauty, also has the dust jacket. Dust jackets are very important. Here we have another one with a dust jacket. This is the story of Crazy Horse. Very nice. Now the dust jacket's not perfect, but it's on there. Uncle Wiggily's Automobile. I want to show you the front of that one. That one's pretty cool. Most of my books I just have at $9.99, or some of them a little bit higher, especially if I bundle them together. I don't have any like really expensive books. One time I sold an old Bible for $500, but that's pretty rare. Here are the baseball books. Sports books. I have those bundled together. They're probably from the 70s, and that would be interesting to a lot of people. They are interested in sports. This one is just an interesting book, manuscripts and drawings related to tobacco. I just thought that would be interesting. Anything old is interesting. Here I have bundled together some plays. Half a dozen mock trials, plays from Walter Baker Company. That was kind of a famous one. And there are some others in there. If you're putting on a play, you need something different, that might come in handy. Now, I've had these a long time. They haven't sold, but there's 5 TV guides. I have them bundled together because I think they're mainly all related to Star Trek or Star Wars. I forget which one. No, that looks like Star Trek. Yes, Star Trek TV guides. They're all related to that. And, you know, they're not the new. They're back when Star Trek was actually had new shows going. All right, this one is just another one that's interesting. It's just a skinny little thing, but it's a catalog. A catalog of museums of the old masters, museums of modern masters. And that's interesting. I only have one hand, so I'm not going to open most of these right now. And here we have 7 booklets, School, World, Vintage Learning, Alaska, Japan, whatnot. They're like part of a series from the School World. And those, I forget the dates. It's like early 1900s though. And then I have most of my early readers back here, but I also have some laid out on the desk that I would like to show. Visits in Other Lands is like a social studies book. The Little White House, just another early reader, Ginn Basic Reader. That was, you know, a lot of them are stamped with the school district and stuff like that. This one is a really old one, 1884, I believe it said right there. So that's actually in pretty good shape for 1884. And as a former teacher, I find these very interesting, and so would other teachers, or those who teach reading. And I used to live on a chicken farm, so I think this one's interesting. It's all about chickens. A book about chickens. Yeah. How to take care of chickens, and there's your date, 1941. Lots of photos. I just think that's very interesting, and somebody else would too that's maybe into farming and whatever. I wanted to go down to this shelf, the next one down, because all this stack right here is all old songbooks. And old songbooks are cool because you're looking for old songs that may not be published anymore. Here's two, and underneath is a bunch of Christmas Carol books. I got a whole bunch of those together. Some Christmas carols, and then maybe old music school textbooks like that one. Let me hold it up. The Golden Book of Favorite Songs. That's from 1930s or 40s, I think. And then I have some single ones there, but I'm not going to hold those up. I have other books on the other side of my basement here. This is where I do all of my shipping and that sort of thing. So you see some of my shipping supplies there as I go over here. These are not the older Nancy Drews, but I still bundle them together. Some of them are from the 1960s and some of them are newer than that. And that's in there. On top of those, I have some vintage Walt Disney books. I'd say those are from the 70s, maybe 60s. The Gnome Mobile. Remember when that came out? You might, if you're as old as I am. These are newer books, but I bundle those together. Even Babysitter Club. I think those were from the 90s, but that would be nostalgia for those who read those in the 90s. I know my daughter did. That's how she got started on reading, by reading the Babysitter Club books. This one's just called Principles of Radio. Another one about English literature. Here's a group of books, History and Development of the Gas Industry. Okay, the gas industry. And actually this whole shelf is full of books that are not really old, but they're all listed on eBay. I have them divided into, these are books about trains. Those get interest. Art books, books about art, and maybe some other things in there like I See Air Warfare. Non-fiction books are what I look for more than fiction books, because people will be interested in certain subjects like Dictionary of Music. That could be in there. And some more art books. On the floor I have, this one's pretty old. Oh, no, I don't want to turn the camera. When you see this marbling on a book, I'm going to take it over to the desk so I can open it up. When you see marbling, you know that that's an old book. And you check the binding, the spine. This one really has a very good binding. It's a library of poetry and song. Excuse me, edited by William Cullen Bryant with his review of poets and poetry from the time of Chaucer. This is volume 2. I also have volume 1. So it's actually in pretty good condition, although the spine right there is gone. But I like that marbling look. The only other place in my basement, well, maybe not only, I have a lot of stuff down here. I do have a shelf full of books right here. And I'm not going to bore you showing you all of them, but I'll just show you that you can tell from the spines that they're older books. And that one right there is actually a photo album, I think, that I have in there. I have a lot of books on Bible study because I like to look at those. I do Bible studies. And just going over some of them here. There's some Boy Scout books there. A book about birds, but that one's not very old. And then I have on the bottom some quilting books, needlepoint, older children's books, Matthew Brady, some historical pictures from the Civil War, not as old as the Civil War. Oh, and yearbooks. Yearbooks are always a good thing to take. You'll find, here's another one. You'll find people that are looking for yearbooks from their college or their high school. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I just want to show you some of the older books I have and why I have them and what you could possibly look for when you're out and about sourcing books to sell on eBay. And as I said, they're not huge. There's not a huge profit in some of these older books that I'm showing you, but they're very interesting to study. I sell them anywhere, like I said, from $10 to maybe $20 or $30 or even $40. So if you can find a book for $1 and sell it for that, you're doing good. Well, thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing.